All right, let's move on to the sword portion of the test. To begin, please demonstrate for us all the posta of the sword in one hand and in two.
So, sword in one hand begins with quarter longer on the left, and all defenses and the fenestra.
All the posta of the sword in one hand and in two that you know.
Of course. Sorry, I
No.
misinterpreted the question. So, quarter longer, long tail on the left. Now, then the cinghiaro mezzana, middle horse tooth. Then the cinghiaro, horse tooth. Mezza portaferro, middle arrogate. Tutta portaferro, full arrogate. Quarter longer, long tail on the right. Posta di donna, guard of the woman. Posta di finestra, guard of the window. Posta di bicorno, guard of the angle, or two-port. Now, the rest I'm going to posta longa, long. Switching to finestra, window. And to di donna, the lady. And now I'm going to frontale, ground. Breve, short. Breve, short. Frontale, ground. Go to longer.
Good. Do it twice more with no commentary.
Yes.
Thank you. Any questions about posta? Graham, please. All right. Using Graham as your target, please demonstrate for us all of the strikes of the sword.
With pleasure. So, first and foremost, pendente, teeth to knee. Down on both sides. Now, Insani, the horizontal flow. Now, last but not least, no, not last actually. Santani, knee to teeth. Done on either side. And there is punta, thrust. There is a central thrust. There is a low thrust, left to right. Low thrust, right to left. High thrust, right to left. And high thrust, left to right.
Thank you. Once more with our commentary. Okay, thank you. Graham, draw your sword and hold that in front of you. All right, so using your partner's sword, please talk to us about the 4 blade engagements and what they are.
Very well. So, 4 blade engagements. First and foremost, there is a deflection. I'm striking my opponent's blade with an edge against the flat, 10-degree angle. I'm slightly redirecting my opponent's blade. Now, there is a beat, which is, again, edge against the flat, but down 90-degree angle, which affects the blade the most. Now, in other case, I can go for a bind, edge to edge. All the initiative stops here, and in strata plays, it's crucial because every person can initiate the play here. Last but not least, Mr. Graham. If Mr. Graham shoots mid-signing towards my leg, that is the void. There is no blade contact. I'm simply removing the target from my opponent's attacking range.
Thank you. Any questions about the cuts, or the stripes, or the engagements?
Yes, you demonstrated a small variation on the Mazzani cuts. Can you articulate what the variation is and why you do it?
Of course. And yes, so the variation of Mezzani that I demonstrated is a left Mezzani, which is done with a false edge. The reason being is trigonometry. We'll have triangles here. So the false edge comes in a adjacent side of the triangle, whereas if I try to do it with the true edge, I am on a noticeable distance from the spot where my blade was on a false edge. For the same reason, I'm not doing my satanis with a true edge, because I'm coming to this hanging guard when I'm coming out with a true edge, as opposed to this with the false edge. Here I'm directly in longa, I'm pointed at my opponent, I'm ready to attack or retreat.
Others? No. Good. All right, let's proceed now. Graham's going to cut at you around the clock, give you all the stripes and thrusts, and you're going to mask up, and you're going to demonstrate for us the basic defenses against all attacks with one hand on the sword and in 2.
Of course.
Okay? And you're going to do 2 rounds of each. So two go rounds with the sword in one hand, and then 2 go rounds with the sword in 2 hands. Okay?
Of course. Ready, Mr. Graham.
Stop there. Graham is wearing a mask, so I'll give you permission to finish and hit him.
Very well.
As he deserves it.
Oh, you must do. Oh, that's not getting.
Once again. Once again, please. Here we go. Yes.
Stop. Do that again, and I wanna know what your intention is after that ends. What do you want to keep doing?
I'm just taking the thrust for the Setsani.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. Just wanted to see you finish. Thank you. Okay.
Let's do the Setsani. So I avoided my leg to avoid the Setsani strike,
Yeah.
as well as I'm bringing my sword to passive defense, so that in case the sword of my opponent actually reaches me, I have a barrier.
Now you're gonna hit Graham, right?
Right?
Now you're gonna hit Graham.
Yeah. Or here,
Yeah.
I can
Yeah, there you go.
strike, suppress the arm or do the pommel strike or whatever.
Good, good. Continue.
Okay. Yes.
Very fun. I'll do it. Okay. Okay, that's it, right? Any questions about the basic defenses or blade movements? So I have a question. You talked earlier about George Silver and something that he called the twofold line. When you're doing these basic defenses and something goes wrong, what options do you have?
Ideally, if I see the threat coming my way, I should abandon my move and retreat. And in case I have no option of retreating, I should just do the best I could to negate the trade, the threat.
Yeah.
Negate the threat.
Thank you, that answered my question. Okay, Brian's got a question, yeah?
With respect to the engagements, what engagements are more advantageous than others?
So in this regard, I would say if we're fighting at a distance, the deflection would be the best engagement because it only allows me, it essentially allows me to defend myself without interrupting my action much. I'm just redirecting my opponent's blade, ideally counter-striking him at the same time. Beat comes next, because with the beat I'm completely removing the threat, at least temporarily, which gives me a wide opening for a counteraction. Then there is a bind, in which all the initiative is shut down, but I'm still covered. I can still do something from there. Then there is a void, which is risky because blade contact, absence of the blade contact rather, means no signal to me, which makes my future murky in that situation.
Good?
Yes.
Okay. One more, Aldo?
Just name the three tempos.
Huh.
If you know.
I did not exactly prepare this question for today, but
It is basically you've answered it. And you're doing the various engagements.
give me a second. Stay, push through, pull back. Is that what you mean?
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's good. It's good.
Okay.
I'm good. I mean, you implicitly demonstrated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so to rephrase it, what Aldo said, you mentioned that you can kill him in the same time. What do you mean by that? Are there other times?
So what I meant is that is to have a very, like, the action happens in a very short timing. So basically the same timing as my opponent attacks me. The whole first play of Largo is built upon it.
Yep.
Then when I beat my opponent's blade down, it's basically a time and a half. So I beat it, that's basically half time. Then I step in, that's the other time. And then all the time shuts down once we're at the bind. That's what I can tell you.
That's close to what I was saying.
All right. Very well. All right, moving on. Just before we get to the plays, we have one more question. Fiore divides his discussion in the beginning of the sword into three main parts. Posta, which we've already addressed, and then two other parts, Gioco Largo,
Yes.
Gioco Stretto. Can you please tell us what the difference is between those two? All right.
Yes. So in Gioco Largo, there is a, first and foremost, the difference is the distance. If Instagram could kindly give me a pendente. So here, contacts happen at the tip of the blade. In many other cases, it will be at the spot in the middle of the blade. So I'm left-footed. I'm defending with a left and crazy step. My opponent is right-footed. Most of the Largo plays are going like this. It also requires all four true times for one another to each other. There is a clear agent, which Mr. Graham, by attack me is becoming. A clear patient is me, who performs the play. This is the Largo. Now, Mr. Graham again, gives me a pendente. Now here is different. It requires only one true time, which is time of the hand for us to reach each other. Where the bind, all the initiative is down. Any person can initiate the play. And we're both sing-footed. That is the strategy.
Thank you. All right, we're now going to ask you to demonstrate a series of specific plays in the Largo section and the Stretto section. Okay? So to begin, can you please demonstrate for us the first couple plays of Largo?
Very well. Mr. Graham, if you would please give me the pendente.
Think about it, please. For the conflict with even more.
I deflected my opponent's blade, my opponent's pendente with my pendente, counter striking back. The strike would land on the mask or on the hands. Once again, please. Now, if you could please give me a pendente push through. So the contacts happened at the tip of the blades again, but I couldn't perform the first blade because my opponent pushed through. So I'm coming to Finestra, striking around. We do this again, please. So these are the first two plays of Largo.
Is there a play where you stay on the right side of your opponent? It comes to your mind. You don't cut around.
Yes, there is. The contact will happen in the middle. You can please give me a pendente. Serenely lie down, my opponent's thumb, and thrust it.
Okay. So do one more time.
Again, please.
Thank you. Okay, next, please demonstrate for us what we call the village strike, or peasant strike.
Of course. You can please give me a white telegraph pendente. I've used the momentum of my opponent to cut around, direct my blade with it. Do this again.
So what circumstance generally would Fiore say to use this in? Why would you do that against Spring? Graham's a peasant here, not a noble member of Dunlop. He's a dirty, unwashed peasant. Why would you do this against him?
I'm I'm using my technique against an unpolished telegraph strike, using the momentum that my opponent gives me to execute the play in a minimalist, energy-saving manner.
Yes. Thank you. Now, Graham's still a dirty unwashed peasant. Please demonstrate for us the groin kick play.
Very well. Please see the
Make contact.
We're cross high, so all the low targets are open. Give me the groin, give me the knee, give me the stomach, and regardless, I cut back at it.
Cool.
Do this again.
Thank you. Now, please demonstrate for us the blade grab.
Blade grab, of course.
Blade grab.
Mr. Graham, give me a second, please. So, using my monkey grip. I'm not putting my palm on the blade. I grab the temporarily immobilized sword, strike in the head. And in the other case, I'm holding up, and give him a kick, strike back. Let's do it again.
What about how those swords come together tells you that you should try a blade grab play or avoid it?
So, give me the time. We're edge to edge here. It is a bite. Hold the initiative is shut down. So from here, I know the blade is temporarily immobilized. I can make it worse by grabbing it and strike it. Of course, if my opponent pulls, I'm just getting out.
If you were crossed, what about, where would you not do the blade grab? So you're crossed, but you wouldn't think about it.
Oh, we're also crossing the middle of the blade. If it was the tip, like it was my tip, Mr. Bear would just push through, and I would not risk putting my hand under the light blade.
Okay. Okay, very good. Next, please show for us exchange and breaking of points.
Of course. Okay, Mr. Graham, can you give me a thrust, please? Stepping out in the left and breathing step. Thrust again. Once again, please. Somewhat similar to the first blade. Now, if you can give me another thrust, please. Oh, I'm breaking it down the hard line, stepping on it, striking out the beard. Can you do this again? And in case my opponent decides to defend himself, so if you could go to the finesse after I break it, I'm coming in, bending him down.
I didn't even ask for that, but that's a cool bonus play. You should show us one more time.
Sure.
That's a crowd pleaser. When you broke the point there, you stepped on the sword twice. Is there a circumstance where you wouldn't think about it? You wouldn't try to step on the sword for some reason?
If that blade is actually moving, same idea as with the blade grab. I would not want to interact with the live blade, only the one that is guaranteedly immobilized.
Last but not least, please demonstrate what we call proof of false.
Oh, of course. So, I'm going to strike a wide telegraph Britannic police defend in a wide left front dive. Ready? I've used that impulse to rotate the sword around me and strike in high circles. Let's do it again.
Thank you. Any questions about any of that Largo material? All right. Let's proceed to Strato. Let's recenter up on that little X there, please.
No.
Should be a bit past it. Should be a bit past it so we meet in the middle.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just trying to forget about it. Oh, yeah, very good. So, Scredo, please show us first the angiogram.
Handogram, of course. Give me a minute, please. I'll give you the center. Grab it and let me counterclockwise on the way down. My sword in breve. I step back. My opponent's sword is frontale. In frontale. Let's do it again. Or wrestling wise, that actually would be longer.
Hit one more time.
Yes.
All right, now the pommel strikes that now.
Of course. You can please give me a mente and take a center. I can do this with two hands by suppressing my opponent's elbow and sitting in. Or I can do this with one hand. Again, please.
All right, now the double arm wrap.
Of course. Please give me a mente. We'll see in the center. So in this case, I'll come out of this line, squeeze both elbows, and feel that everybody says I should keep following my opponent until he has enough. Let's do it again.
Well, specifically until he loses 2 teeth, right?
Four.
Right.
I stand correct.
I'll remember that.
Yeah.
Once again, please.
Yeah. Okay, and then lastly, a disarm.
Of course. You could please give me a mente and push through. So I'm pushing my opponent's blade away, squeezing both of his hands. And that breaking, shearing motion wrinkles the sword out of his hand. Let's do it again.
One more time.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions about that strap material? All right. To finish the sword section, Anton, is there any other plays that you want to demonstrate again, or you want to demonstrate for us?
Largo or Stretto, or both.
You choose.
Are there any other things that you'd like to demonstrate that you know really well?
Something you can show off with.
Okay. Mr. Graham, you could do a full swing on me, please. So this is the counter to the full point. Now, Mr. Graham, can you give me a pendente? I'll take a center. That is the middle key. Mr. Graham, do the middle key to me. That is the counter key. And again, please. I'll half sword to his throat. Now, you can give me a pendente, I'll take a center. It could be a disarm, or I could just yank him onto my sword. In that case, my sword is in breve, his sword is in my breast and longer. So, none of the pendente, please. That one I've already showed. Let's do it again. That's the one I wanted to show, the wrist grab.
Good. That's sufficient, Anton.
Okay.
All right. So now, that concludes the theory portion and the practical portion of the exam. The individual way will now retire and arm up and come back in, say, 5 minutes time. Let's try and be brief, and we'll complete the final portion of the